Yeah, hello everyone. Good day to you, wherever you're watching me from. It's good to be live again. Good day to you. Okay, so a lot has been happening in the Chelsea community, the transfer and everything. We've been, it's a lot of development. We finally landed to see Adarabioyo. I think that's about the only concluded signing for now. Sorry, just a moment. I'm trying to bring um, one of our panelists on. So, one second. Um, Sorry, one second. Apologies. Trying to bring on a panelist. Uh, Okay, good. Found it. Yeah. So,
Do you see Lovely?
I'm live. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, we're here to discuss the Chelsea transfer news, major signings, potentials, and if we'll be having any surprising exits. So, are we going to have any player that will leave Chelsea Football Club unexpectedly, like we had the guy from Napoli? Trying to recollect his name. The one that we bought from Napoli and sold to Saudi, and then the surprising exit of N'Golo Kante. Are we going to be having anything like that very soon? So those are one of the things we should brave up for as Chelsea fans. So are we going to be having trying to pull up that name? The Napoli defender Kalidou Koulibaly. Yeah, those players left. Christian Pulisic. We have a massive exodus of talent in that window. So, are we going to be having anything similar to that in this window? We should prepare for that too as Chelsea fans. And so, are we ready for it? Because that might happen. We are proposing to sell Raheem Sterling, but he has made it known to the directors that he's not willing to leave Chelsea at the moment. So he wants to stay and fight for his place, as he has said. His place is about £350,000 per week, so he will be. It's a very good salary to hold on to. Plus, he still gets to stay with his family in London. So Sterling is not ready to go anywhere. Though Sterling is very, very experienced player, but his level of inconsistency is probably the main reason why he cannot stay in Chelsea, and he earns far too more. I think I blame those who signed his contract to have put him on that amount of salary, knowing fully well that he had always struggled with consistency from Liverpool to Manchester City. So that should have been factored into the contract before it was signed. Trust me, if Sterling was on like 150,000 or 200,000 pounds, he wouldn't have been considered for for transfer. They would have wanted to still retain him. So also on the transfer, were listed by Sky Sports, Sky News as one of the clubs that have to sell compulsorily um, this year, by this in June. But it's been corrected that Chelsea does not have to sell players immediately because of the fact that we're able to sell our hotel to the club owners. So selling the hotels to the club owners has put us at that advantage to earn 75 million pounds. So that is stabilizing the books a little bit, but not completely. But by next year, we have to sell by the next transfer. So if we can get some players out now, it will also be very good to reduce the pressure against the next transfer. Um, Chelsea's doing very great at the moment. Not, we're not so very great, but we are not under so much pressure. I'm still waiting for the panelists. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. So um, we we have hotel. The hotel was sold. The Chelsea Football Club hotel was sold to the owners, and that gave us 75 million pounds, helping to reduce um pressure. So we have also sold. Sorry, the news also came out that Arsenal is in a stronger position to sign Benjamin Sesko ahead of Chelsea Football Club. So I don't know why that is, but um, Chelsea have informed him about their project. They've spoken to him and his agent about their project. So while we are trying to sell our project, Arsenal seems to be in a pole position to be able to land Sesko at the moment. But let's see how it goes. Chelsea is notoriously known for deal hijack. But though in this case, it's not Chelsea who is trying to hijack the deal. Chelsea has been on Sesko radar for about since last season. So I think Arsenal United are the ones that are trying to hijack in this case because Chelsea started it first, but it's a bidding war. So let's see. But I also Sesko might be cheaper than Alvarez, but if we end up with Alvarez, I'll still be contented because that's a player with experience in the English Premier League. So that really matters to me. Um, Sesko is really good, nice physique and all that, but um, what's the possibility that he can hit the ground running immediately in the Premier League? What's the possibility that he's not going to take a whole season or two to settle? Just like the way Timo Werner and Kai Havertz struggled. So Sesko is Arsenal is much more closer to signing him now, according to recent reports, than Chelsea. But it's not done until it's not over until it's completely done. So according to Cut Offside, Raheem Sterling also said he's not willing to leave Chelsea. Yeah, I said that before. Yeah, that's well, you never can tell. He might just be the superstar next season. Nothing is impossible. So then there's another news that Borussia Dortmund prepares a 25 million euro bid for Ian Matson. His release clause is still 35 million euro, 35 million pounds, sorry, but their initial offer is 35 million euro, which is still falling short of the expectation. So, will Chelsea change their mind? Will they accept that pay cut? I'm not sure. If it doesn't work out, he can return to the team and then contend with Cucurella and Benjamin Chilwell. So Lewis Hall, but I'm thinking Ian Matson should fit into the style of play of Enzo Maresca. So who who can we sell? Who can Chelsea sell? We expected to cash in 27 million pounds from Newcastle on Lewis Hall. It's been done since last season, but the payment wasn't made. It was a loan with an intent of signing him permanently. Unfortunately, Lewis Hall didn't get to do a lot at Newcastle, so he was mostly on the bench. Then Omari Washington is another player that we might be looking to offload. He was a product of Chelsea Academy and was sold to Arsenal, I think, and then Chelsea had to go buy him back from Arsenal. So I think Chelsea's expectation on him is about 20 million pounds or so. So Ian Matson, like I said earlier on, is on the market. He's on loan with Borussia Dortmund, and Borussia Dortmund is looking to keep him permanent. That's one of the Dortmund players that made European selection for the season. You know, that's to show that he's doing really great. Then Armando Broja, AS Monaco is leading on the radar to sign Armando Broja. It's not really clear at the moment what the expectation is financially for him. It's not really clear for now. So is Armando Broja is likely, AS Roma is like leading the race to sign him on a permanent right now. So if you are watching and you are hearing me, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that, and then leave a comment in the chat so I can know that you are there. And if you want to join the panel, if you want to come on to make contribution, the link is shared in the chat box. The link is shared in the chat box. So the StreamYard link, you can just click it and then um, I'll be able to add you from the backstage. The link will bring you to the backstage and then I can be able to bring you on to the panel. So yeah, Matson, like I said, going Dortmund wants to keep him, but it's left for them to pay the price. So AS Monaco very close to making Armando Broja's deal permanent. Conor Gallagher, Chelsea wants £50 million for the minimum for him. Yeah, Aston Villa seems to be leading the race to sign Conor. Tottenham Hotspur also interested. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Sammy. So, good work. We're listening and following. We will love also other EPL content. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we'll delve into other EPL content. Yeah. Your club Manchester United is also going to be part of the discussion soon. Yeah, because we seem to have interest in some similar players. So Armando Broja, is close on AS Monaco radar. Conor Gallagher on Tottenham radar. Aston Villa also leading the race for him. So another player that might be sold or that should possibly be sold is on the market is Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kepa went on loan to Real Madrid, lost his first place to the third choice goalkeeper, and he was relegated to the bench, but he got the La Liga medal and the Champions League medal. Chelsea is expected to make £7 million for that because I don't think Real Madrid actually paid any loan fee. They just took him with an agreement of paying add-ons based on whatever they win and then the performance. Oh, thank you very much. 5 likes. Thank you. It shows people are paying attention. Yeah.
On the stop streaming today.
Yeah. Sorry, I had some bit of I was hearing some bit of noise, so I had to attend to that. Yeah, so Kepa Arrizabalaga is one player to leave Chelsea, but rumors are flying that the coach might want to assess him to see if he would be able to work with him. So another player on the list is Trevor Chalobah. Fulham are very close to making inquiry on Trevor. No offer has been made yet, but Fulham seems to be the most serious club chasing Trevor. There's also a rumor that Manchester United is interested in Trevor Chalobah, but that's one player that if we don't get it buyer for, I'll really, really be happy. Oh, sorry. Okay, Mr. Bobby. Let me share the link again. Sorry, let me share the link again for you so that you can connect from the chat box. I'm going to share the link and then it will bring you, when you click on it, it should bring you to the backstage. Then I can add you on the panel. Okay, so you can just click on the StreamYard link, and then you put your name, it will bring you to the backstage, then I can add you on the panel. Yeah, that's it in the chat box. Thank you so much for your effort. I really appreciate you. I'm not taking it for granted. Yeah, so Trevor Chalobah is one player. Oh, thank you very much. I've seen you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bobby. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you are on now. You are on the panel now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you
know
very
what
much. Yeah, I
happened
can
with
hear
the
you too.
DM.
Very. Oh, okay. So okay. Yeah, I can hear you very, very clearly. Thank you so much. Thank you for your effort. I really appreciate it. I'm not taking it for granted. Um, thank you so much. And thank you for your love for the Chelsea community. Thank you for always willing to make your very intelligent and insightful contribution to the community. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, how's your day going, sir? Can you
Yeah,
hear
it's
me?
good. There just seems to be
Okay,
an
yeah.
echo,
Okay. From my side.
and a repetition.
From my side?
Let me try it on my phone and see if it
Okay.
works better that way.
Okay. But I'm hearing you clearly, though. I'm hearing you clearly without any echo. Your audio is very clear.
Okay, yeah, that's good. It's
Okay, I
just
can hear you very well. Do you still hear the echo?
okay. Yeah, that's
Shit. Do you still hear the echo?
yeah. I'm maybe it's because I've got two
Do
devices.
you still hear the echo?
I do, I do. Wait, let me shut this down.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
See
true.
if that
That's true.
helps.
Yeah, okay. If you mute one, okay, if you mute one,
Hmm. Yeah, it's still.
okay, you still hear the echo? Because I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, I hear myself, but it's okay. I'll
If you
try
mute one
and
of the
see how it
devices, it
goes.
will.
There's a
Okay,
time lag.
okay, thank you. Yeah, I can hear you very clearly. Okay. Yeah, so I was just talking about Trevor Chalobah, that the fact that Manchester United is interested in him, and then Fulham seems to be the one making the most effort right now. And I was saying that I'll be very happy if he doesn't leave eventually, because I realize that there are a lot of players that can be sold. Yeah, okay. Sammy Soul in the chat is saying that we are both very clear. Okay, that he can hear us. They can hear both of us clearly. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Thanks for letting us know. So I was saying that if Chalobah is eventually not sold, that it will be very good to me though, because I think he's a leader, and we need more figures like him in the team. So what's your view about that? If Fulham and Man U can't meet up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to answer with the echo and the repetition, so I'll try
Okay,
and
sorry,
speak through it.
sorry. Yeah.
The right now Chelsea, right now Chelsea don't actually need to sell players before the end of June to meet with PSR. So I suspect. Oh dear, this is really distracting. Hang on, let me try and see if I can do it on my phone because I can't speak. Just a minute.
Okay, sorry. Have you closed the other device that's on? Because if two of them are on at the same time, it will interfere.
Yeah, everything's closed.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Hey, big up, coach. How are you? Coach, are you done with the jollof rice? Let's have some of it on the show. The coach, the chef. Wow, you're still cooking. That's great. Well done. Uh, you don't need turn party food go small small with that too. Okay, while we're still waiting for Bobby to sort his the audio, as soon as you are, you can just call me anytime. Let me know. I would pause for you to continue speaking. So talking about the fact that he said we are not under pressure to sell, which is very true. Based on the fact that we were able to sell our hotel to ourselves to bring in 75 million pounds, which is a good one. So we are not under pressure. Yeah, big up to you, Constantine Dante. I really thank you for coming up. Yeah, big up, jingles, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, coach is still cooking meatballs. I guess it's cooking jollof rice and goat meat though. Yeah, so we for me, I think we need Trevor in the team, and I think he's gonna be very lucky to still hang around. We've always wanted to send him away, but somehow he always find himself still. He always find himself still. Uh, he always find himself still being able to hang around in Chelsea, and I'm very very optimistic that we'll somehow we'll find a way to keep him because we really need that guy in the team. Um, Fofana is coming back from injury, but you don't know what to expect. A player that hasn't played for over a full season and a half, I guess. So it's gonna be very difficult to. It's gonna be difficult to expect to have Wesley Fofana come back and hit the ground running. So I think we need to keep Trevor Chalobah. There's also another rumor that Manchester United is interested in Marc Cucurella. I think Chelsea will not sell Cucurella. I think so because we don't have to. Because if we keep selling, then at the end of the day, we'll have to keep spending. So, and then we'll be altering the books that we've been trying to balance. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You are on live now. Welcome
Oh,
back.
this is
Yeah.
crazy. I had to do copy, paste, shift, and
Oh, sorry.
but now the echo seems to have gone, and I feel like I can talk. As long as you can hear me, then we're good to go.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. You can continue. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I mean, yeah, what I was saying was that the pressure for Chelsea to raise funds to meet with PSR by the end of this month is off because the deliberation over the use of incumbent statutory assets in order to offset your accounts has basically failed in its aim to stop that rule within the PSR rules, and I think there's some cross swords with legality as well. So the rule can't be inhibited, and Chelsea, and I don't think can be inhibited for some time unless you want to change national law or unless you want to manipulate the constitution of the Premier League club members to go about that. Whatever's the case, it will take time if they want to change it. The vote has already gone against them, so Chelsea proceed. And therein raises the question about Trevor Chalobah. The media and the those looking for clickbait and those wanting to spread transfer rumors will continue sticking to want to die on the hill that Chelsea are going to sell this, that, and the other. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible that the club will sell him. What I am saying is that it's definitely not sensible. It's not like in the case of Conor Gallagher, where he only has a year of contract left. I think Trevor Chalobah's contract goes on till about 2027, if not
Yes.
2028. Yeah,
Yes.
2027.
Yeah.
So he
27 plus
has,
plus one. Yeah.
there you go. So he has a good, what, 3 years and some on his contract. Now, if I were Maresca, I'll take a look at this guy. He proved himself towards the end of last season to be our best centre back. And, there's all this talk of, oh, will Chelsea buy another centre back? I don't see the need or the necessity. I think with Tosin coming in, with Chalobah still there, and no need for us to sell any players to balance the books, certainly short term, and with hopefully we can keep Fofana fit, although that's a big hope, and then we've got Colwill. I only mentioned those four because the question mark I put on defenders is Desassi and Badiashile. However, this guy I think will look at all of them. And remember, there's Bashir Humphreys as well,
Yes.
who, if we manage to offload either or Badiashile or Desassi, I think can come into the breach very, very comfortably. He needs to show that again in pre-season. So we have a luxury of centre backs with no need to sell. So in my view, it's only common sense that you retain the best. And if Chalobah is amongst the best, this idea of selling him to Man United, it's always the sort of Man United type stroke Liverpool stroke Arsenal stroke Chelsea type his best players. Everybody wants Gallagher. That is of concern to me. I like him. I want him to stay. But if he is continuing to refute Chelsea contract offers, we may find ourselves in the same sort of Mason Mount situation and may need to offload him. Or if Maresca likes him a lot, he might retain him, allow him to run down his contract. I think, as far as Gallagher and Chalobah is concerned, this summer is going to be very revealing as to the way forward with them and Chelsea. But I wouldn't panic too much. We're not going to lose both of them. I can almost hang my hat on that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, but considering Gallagher's performance last season, he was very good. He showed a lot of improvement, and his work rate was excellent.
Yep.
Why do you think somebody who played a lot of games like him is reluctant to sign a contract?
That is a very good question. One, I'm hearing it depends on which side you believe. His side are saying that there's no contract to sign. And albeit, to be fair, Fabrizio Romano, sorry, let me just have a sip of water.
Okay,
Um,
no problem. Thanks.
sorry. Fabrizio Romano did post that there's no sort of discussion between Chelsea and Gallagher at the moment. I don't know what to believe. I think it would be unwise for the club not to offer him a new contract. Where I think the sticking point may be will be wages. He may feel that if he goes elsewhere, he can earn big wages. And that's probably true. You know, Manchester United will probably pay him more, as probably would Spurs, as much as I hate the idea of him going there, and as probably would Villa at this point in time. Trouble is, a lot of these clubs that in the past would have offered silly wages because they still pay silly wages. They have to be very careful. You know, the PSR rules about 70% of your revenue kick in from the 14th of June when this new transfer window opens. Now, the likes of Arsenal, Man United, well, less so Man United, but Arsenal certainly are in the Champions League, Man United, Europa, Tottenham, Europa, so Villa, Champions League. So those clubs in European competition may afford themselves the opportunity to stretch wages for one more season. But one more season is the operative word. How long is that sustainable? Well, the simple answer to that is that it's not sustainable. Everybody has to comply. Even the mighty Real Madrid are watching their wage bill and watching their transfer dealings, not to mention everybody else. I know those of us in English football, the clubs are richer, but still everything is being capped. And speaking of caps, by the next summer, we have the whole wage cap algorithm based on the likes of Chelsea are ahead of everybody with that, and then it looks right. You were above with the wages
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Yeah.
on and performance related increments that they're giving their players now. So, will Trevor Chalobah accept a Chelsea contract and stay, or will he choose to go elsewhere? I think if a contract that is reasonable is offered to him, I think he'll accept it. The only thing is that he also has to look at his playing career. If all of Chelsea's midfielders are fit this season, how much game time would he actually have? And yet, on the other hand, of all those that have worn the Chelsea captain's armband, he is the fittest. It's a big conundrum, something that the sporting directors would have to look into. But left to me, I'll retain him because he's a very effective servant. He doesn't have to be the best player to be a valuable player.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. On Kepa Arrizabalaga, another rumor is also out there that the coach wants to give him a chance. Do you think it makes sense to give him a chance when his wage is so high and he hasn't really had consistent runs too? And based on Petrovic last season, I think I think it's better to just use Petrovic over him. So, what's your view
Honestly,
about trying to give Kepa a chance? Do you think he should be sold or?
Chelsea Jingles, honestly, left to me, I would say, do you know what? Let's part ways. He has only a year left of contract. It's not worth it. We've seen Kepa's deficiencies. It's not
Yeah,
going to change. Real Madrid have seen his deficiencies. So whether he's a good ball playing goalkeeper or not, he's a liability in terms of where we want to be.
that's true.
You know,
Yeah,
that's just how I feel. And I just think it's futile and a waste of time to persist with something you know is going to go wrong. So if anybody would have him, sell him. But we have this wage issue, don't we? I mean, would he want to hang on to his big wages for one more year? Probably. He's just recently got married, and I think his wife is pregnant. So he'll be thinking of the bills he has to pay. Although he's a very rich man already, so it's relative. But you know, Kepa's time's over. I tell you who I do want us to bring in though, Bolka. He was a Chelsea boy. He went through our academy.
yeah,
He went to PSG. I think he would be a fantastic signing. I really do. And he is at the level and age where he can, in a healthy way, compete with Petrovic for that number one spot. I know he'll beat him to it, but it will be a healthy thing. And then we also sell Sanchez.
Okay, yeah. I think we should be able to make good money from Sanchez. It's not like very big money, but I think it shouldn't be a problem to sell. And Sanchez is a really tall guy. I think he's 6'5", but his errors is a big liability. From the chat, Sammy Soul is my brother. He's a Man U fan. He said even Man U at the moment is letting go of high wage players.
Yeah,
So Gallagher might not get extreme high wage.
very true. This is what I'm saying. The layer of the
Yeah.
land has changed.
And I think if we can offer Gallagher, yeah, that's true. If we can offer him like 100K per week, do you think that is still very small? If assuming we are keeping him,
I think it's worth a trial. You see, people say Chelsea offer lower wages now, but you see, this is all is intelligent stuff. These new owners are doing, like with the coach, who is now a coach and not a manager. He's earning the same as Pochettino did. Pochettino earned he's earning half Pochettino's wage for
yeah,
twice the length of contract.
yeah,
So it all pans out the same. And what he has in it is the incentivized increments, which will pay for itself vis a vis if you get into the Champions League, if you finish top four, all this beefs your income, which is the same type of contract the players have. So you get a player on 100K a week and you sign him up for 10 years, for example. It's the same as if you get a player on 200K a week, you sign him up for 5 years, and he will be more inclined to come to you because you've given him 10 years security. If he wants to leave, he can negotiate, you know, with another club, but he has that security. So most players will take it. And I think if Gallagher is offered about 100, let's say 120K, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it in this climate because people aren't going to offer him much more.
that's true. That's true. Things are changing in football now. Everybody's trying to comply.
Yeah.
Constantine Dante said, no, Boca is not suited for possession. Moresca ball is big and slow. Um,
Can I
what do you
answer
think?
that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah.
And actually, as somebody who has actually seen Boca in person, I back in the day I was very active on the academy circuits. I used to go to their games, especially when they played FA Cup games. So that Boca era, that class of Boca and the like, which I think included Reece James, if I remember rightly, certainly included Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They were all in that same youth team that won countless FA Cups, youth FA Cups, and indeed the Champions League, as well as the leagues. They were quite an incredible side, and I don't recall him. They weren't, we didn't have much of the sweeper keeper activity in those days, but I don't recall this guy being clumsy with his feet at all. I don't recall that at all. I think he is somebody like Courtois. You think
Okay.
Courtois not he's not good with his feet, but Courtois is actually very good with his feet. It's
Yeah,
just that he keeps it simple.
yeah. He says, Constantine Dante is telling you from the chat that Boca has put on 20 kilograms since then.
Oh,
That he has
okay.
that now he's big and slow. Yeah. He said
Okay.
he's big and slow now. Yeah.
I don't
So
know what he looks like now. I really don't. But
but the Chelsea interest in him, is it really high, or it's just one of those things mentioned? I mean, Chelsea interest in Boca.
this is silly season. They're going to put out all sorts. I don't know. I don't know. But if he's now overweight and slow, then
Okay,
somebody,
yeah.
some agent somewhere is trying to flog him.
Yeah, because if you seek my opinion, I would say he's not looking like a top priority
No.
in the news. Yeah. Then talking about Lukaku. Napoli has offered initial ridiculous 12 million pounds, and thank God he's willing to go to Saudi, because that might be the only thing is I've not really heard that any Saudi team is interested in him. So are you seeing a situation whereby we might get stuck with him again if Napoli is testing us with only 12 million pounds when he has a release clause of 38 million?
I think a lot of the Lukaku deal, if there is a deal to be had at all, is being done quietly so that it goes through. Napoli, to me, are the most irritating club in to do
Okay,
business with in football.
okay,
You know, they've priced Osimhen out of the market with their ridiculous 113 million release clause that nobody is willing to pay, and yet they come and talk about low ball. This isn't low ball. This is underground ball. Um, for Lukaku, that's a ridiculous offer. And clearly Chelsea won't even look at it.
absolutely.
So yeah, I mean the price we put on his head is reasonable. What 35 million, 38 million? If somebody came and said 30, then I would say okay, let him go. You may not get a better offer. But 12, no chance. Silly. If the Saudis are looking, I don't think we'll know until it happens.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, because I haven't had any of them come out to indicate interest, but he himself has marketed himself to them, telling them, saying that the league is something to watch out for, and it's a good place to be, and people will be surprised what the league can evolve to become in the future. So, so if we now, okay, hopefully, AC Milan also brought another ridiculous. Okay, they asked for loan and it was rejected immediately. So another club that has brought an offer is Borussia Dortmund. They put initial 25 million euro. That's less than 25 million pounds, and its buyout clause is 35 million pounds. So, what's your view on that? Do you think they're going to step up based on how he has proven himself to them?
Who Dortmund for Martin you're talking about? Ian Martin.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a more encouraging situation. They've offered what 25?
Yeah, 25 million
Uh,
euros.
yeah. Oh, euros. So we're looking about 20 million pounds. Okay, fair enough. We have
Yeah,
set the mark at
yes.
35. Now I think various things can happen here. We may hold out for them to increase their offer and probably all settle at around 30.
Okay, 30. Okay. Yeah, I think Chelsea should be able to accept that also. Then looking at this guy that went on loan,
All are academy
um,
graduates. I think it
the
is.
young British man that went on loan to Newcastle, they're expected to make the payment. Miss Hall, they're expected to
Yeah.
make the payment at this window. That's about 27 million pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's even good that we are not under pressure to sell, but I think we have some money going to fly in, like Lewis Hall. Um, what's your view about that? Do you think he will still be willing to make that move because he really didn't improve on that loan?
Yeah, Lewis Hall deal's done, isn't it? It's sealed. So that's gonna definitely go through. I don't think there's any going back with that. I was trying to explain uh, the the boundaries of discussion that could lead to a Martin sale. And some of that is if you undersell him in terms of the initial figure, then you include your buyback clause and your sell on clause to a further incremental figure to make the deal beneficial to everybody all round. Lewis Hall is done. I don't see. I think he he activated the sell clause. in the loan. So Newcastle should be sending the money to Chelsea sooner rather than later.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, because we need all this money to keep flying in. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
so
we've
so
been making
you
some
you're
good
about
money. We made money on
yes,
Kepa at Real Madrid for them winning the
yes,
Champions League, and indeed on Hazard, even though he's retired,
yeah,
we still got 5 million for him for the sale, which
yeah.
is one good deal I have to give Marina credit for because she
I think we
brokered
got
that
seven.
deal.
Yeah, I think we got total of 7 million for Hazard, five for Champions League and two for La Liga.
Yeah, that's
Yes, that's
that's
7 million. Yeah, somebody who is even out already. So then if you look at a player like Omari Hutchinson,
mhm.
uh, he still is all a part of the players that is listed on the market.
Hmm.
Uh, do you think we can make up to 20 million from him? I think that is the expectation, 20 million pounds.
I think somebody's offered that, haven't they? And I would sell. Sadly, we can't keep everybody. He's an asset, and you sell with a buyback and sell on clause attached, just like we did with Tammy Abraham. We had a 3-year buyback clause, which we could activate if he was performing excellently. Within those 3 years, we could easily have gone. Well, we could go back to Roma and drop the 63 million and take him back. That's a good deal for someone like Omari Hutchinson because his ceiling seems to be high, and if he goes somewhere where he plays regularly, it's better than we get cash for it. It's better than sending him on loan. So I would say in this case, sell, but with a buyback and or a sell on clause.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, back to Benjamin Sesko. The news have it now that Arsenal is leading us in the race to sign
Hmm.
Sesko. Um, do you think we're going to lose that deal? Even though we recently presented our project to him and it looks suitable, but the news is saying Arsenal is leading the race.
Well, I don't doubt it. It's difficult because the one thing they would be able to offer, apart from probably a higher initial wage, is Champions League football. He may be persuaded by that. I don't know. I think we just have to wait and see. But if they are leading the race for real, why hasn't he gone there? Because this is the time to buy him. The 55 million release clause is this month. So if he has if he has made his choice, which I doubt, that deal would have gone through. So I'll keep my powder dry on that one. Let's wait and see what he actually comes out to say because we won't know till he publicly says, okay, I'm going to go to this club or that club.
Yeah, and I think, like I said on Chelsea perspective, that I have a bit of phobia on him because I'm just afraid if he comes in and starts struggling because we don't have time for that at all. We need people to come in
Hit the ground running.
and ground running as soon as they can because we've been through a lot and yes, and we have to get it right from start of the season so that we don't start to struggle. Yeah.
I think Chelsea fans have Romelu Lukaku PTSD. He's traumatized us. Yeah, he really has because now we're very skeptical, very cautious of any striker. Aubameyang came and didn't help the matter, and we become somewhat scared of strikers. Look, I don't know. Sesko's a very young man. Physically, he's a specimen. He will do well in the Premier League, but we don't just want any old lump up there. We want someone who can score the goals. in this very tough competition. Look, I don't know who's advising this kid, but left to me, if I was advising him, I would say go to Chelsea. And I'm not just saying this because of my, blue tinted glasses. I'm saying it because for his age and for his development in the game, it makes most sense. He's going to Arsenal, who are at the end of their project and are just seeking to fill the trophy cabinet with what has been created. Is that a bad place to be? Not necessarily, but there's no margin for too much error. Whereas with Chelsea, he can integrate himself using things like the Conference League that we're playing in and integrate himself with the rotation of the current players that we use as strikers already and grow with the team. I think his development will be best served in a developing team than in a team that has reached maturity already in terms of its its position with development. And of course, Man United for him as a project is not really good because at the moment their suits they're just all over the place. They don't know whether they're starting a project, whether they're continuing a project. So it's a bit chaotic. That doesn't mean to say he can't thrive there, but in terms of the smoothness of his development, I think the best bet for him would be Chelsea. But I don't know what he's going to choose.
Yeah, thank you very much. Emmanuel Petit recently said that he will be stupid not to choose Arsenal over Chelsea.
Hmm.
And then he started by saying that he was a player that played for both Chelsea and Arsenal. Though we know he excelled more in Arsenal than he did with Chelsea. So he was saying that Arsenal project is more suitable for him. But I agree with you because Arsenal's project is like towards at its peak already. And I think Chelsea will be more suitable for him because he has more competition in Arsenal. Whereas in Chelsea, for now, we only have Jackson, and we know Jackson has a lot of improvement to do. Even Nkuku is coming to start to prove himself. Nkuku can't really say he has really proved anything since he came to Chelsea, yeah, because of his injury. So I can't say he's coming to compete with Nkuku because Nkuku has not really put his stamp on the ground because of his injury. So Nkuku himself is coming in like somebody who is new to come and fight for his place and show the coach why they have to trust him. So I think it's a level playing field for him. And one thing about new players is the moment a premium is paid for them, it puts them at advantage to start games until they are unable to justify reason why they should be getting those game times. That's when they usually drop them. So I think he has that advantage that will work for him if he wants to come to Chelsea. And I'll be very happy if we have those competition because that will now ginger more players to work harder. So how do you assess our transfer policy under this new ownership so far?
I think as far as transfers is concerned, we do well. We always win the transfer league, don't we? you
Yeah,
know, where
yeah.
where we are still a very attractive prospect. Players want to come to Chelsea for sure. We haven't lost that pull, regardless of our recent struggles in Europe. The project is highly attractive, especially for young players and young players of ability. The ownership has shown they're not shy of putting their money where their mouth is. They can drop 100 million on anybody. The only reason they're pulling back is because of PSR and FFP. They don't want to be non compliant. But now we don't have that restriction. Should they need to, they could do it again. I like the idea that they're avoiding doing it. So everybody vis-a-vis the likes of Napoli don't think, oh, Chelsea have come knocking, right, 100 million, which is what they've done with Osimhen, which is ridiculous. Um, and it's going to frustrate the boy because I don't see anybody coming anywhere near that, and the kid wants to leave. So they're going to have to drop their asking price. So as far as transfers is concerned, we're not doing badly. I know people hate the idea that we've gone with all the, or some people, they think, oh, we're buying too many young players, and the reason we invested in the best young players in the world to bring them in was to be able to cap the salaries and bring down the wage bill. That's why we've done it, and to increment their income over a period of 7 8 years, which is the length of contract they signed. That's why, despite the fact that we got the majority in before the PSR capped the years of amortization down to 5 years, we are still offering 8 year contracts despite amortizing only for 5 years, because we can stretch their wages over that period of time and increment it suitably. So I think a lot of clever stuff is being done here, and we must be patient. A rebuild of an entire squad will take time, will have its ups and downs. The days of Roman, our fan base have to understand those days are gone. Roman came into a climate where there was no FFP, there was no PSR, and he was able to just pluck the best in the world at whatever price. Nobody can do that anymore. You've got to be smart about how you um, recruit your players. And people forget that we have a total rebuild. We got rid of everybody. We're rebuilding from scratch. Players, coaching staff, medical staff, you name it. Everything is new. Even the ownership is new. So it's going to
Yeah.
take time. Yeah, it's going to take time. And personally, I think we're on the right track.
Yeah, we are on the right track, absolutely. And then how you assess the fans lately? Do you think
Well,
their
well,
confidence in the owner is improving?
now, I've been backing the ownership, much to the annoyance. I mean, it's got me a lot of flack. Some people have really come for me on X because of it, and I think it's not helpful. We are where we are. If people could stop being so short memoried and remember why we're in this position, what it was all about, why our former owner had to fire sale the club for nothing, why these guys had to come in, why they had to rip up the form book and start again. They should have more objective understanding. And to be fair to these people, there's no benefit to them not making the club successful, because the success is their media for revenue.
That's
So
true.
I think um, a lot of fans are still stuck in the Roman Abramovich mentality. They've lived, many of them have been brought up with that. That's all they know. So it's been a culture shock for them that somebody new has come in and is about to make some big changes. And why those changes are being made is quite simply because of regulation. Regulation has changed. PSR, FFP, all these things are clever about it. But of course, a lot of the fan base are not used to that. It is more the older group that have seen changes, have seen rebuilds in the past, and are beginning to click on to what's going on and can absorb the pain, because it's painful. I don't like seeing us losing. Crikey, there was a time last season we were pants. We were terrible.
Yeah.
But we had the biggest injury list in football, the youngest squad in football, and the least familiar squad and management in football, because the players weren't used to each other, they weren't used to the league or anything. So of course, inconsistency is going to happen. I think the fan base need to be patient with this. Some will, some won't. You can't tell people what to do. But I think as time has gone on, especially the way the last season ended, which helped a lot. calm the fans down. A lot of them are beginning to see what's happening here. They're beginning to understand what's happening here. Listen, it's a risk. Everything is a gamble. Everything, but these guys, we are owned by a conglomerate of some of the richest human beings on this planet. These guys are money. That's what they are. And they want to make even more money. They have an elaborate plan, and they didn't become billionaires by playing it safe. Brave men go where angels fear to tread. Who
That's
dares
true.
wins.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's their philosophy, and that's why they made it. So they're going to take some of us on a ride that will scare the pants out of us. But they have made calculated uh, uh, um, due diligence in order to come up with a calculated risk. Hence, appointing someone like Maresca. I'm scared, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm intrigued and excited by the sheer guts of it
Yes.
all. And that's how you succeed. Because if that guy is successful, everybody's going to copy Chelsea, as they always do, because we always set the trend and others follow. So let's hang on to our hats, try and enjoy the ride, and remember that ultimately we're Chelsea fans and we support the club. And the club needs our support, and we have to lend it to them, both on social media and at the stadium.
That's an excellent one. Because I had Bully said in an interview in the US that he's aware of the fact that Chelsea have to be winning games for them to be able to earn that respect. So that it's not just about wanting to do business, but they have to win games. And the most surprising thing is that Todd Bowley's net worth went up for about 5 billion to 6.1 billion, despite the Chelsea's, and it went up because of his investment into Chelsea.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it means there is hope, and yeah, okay. Constantine Dante said very well said, Bobby. Yeah, it means there's hope
Constantine.
in the investment. But what saddens me most is the fact that despite all these things that we went through, how come they are not able to give Chelsea some leverage? Like, okay, we went through all this, and the government has even said, okay, based on all what you went through, okay, the sanction caused us losses. We couldn't extend player contract. We couldn't sell
Yeah.
tickets and all that. Nobody's giving us anything, a little bit of consideration when it comes to FFP.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's disgusting to say the least. Politics is politics, and we've got nothing to do with that. We just love our football and love our club. But there is a lot of politics in and around what happened that is beyond us, and really has nothing to do with us. It's more about the people that play it than the people that have anything to do with the club. Look, to me, it's unfortunate. But one thing I've known, I've supported Chelsea Football Club since I was a child at the age of 4 back in 1970. That's how long I've supported this club. And
Wow.
I've seen a lot over the decades.
Hmm.
And one thing I'll tell you is that Chelsea has been through so many things. I was there when we had buckets outside of the stadium that fans would go and drop money into to be able to save the club from the property developers that were coming to take over the club. That was the reason why the Chelsea
Wow.
pitch owners exist. The fans
Wow.
formed, yeah, the fans formed a group that bought the pitch. So if you want to come and take the stadium, you have
Hmm.
this piece of green that will never belong to you, and it will mess up your plans. That's
Hmm.
how the fans fought for the club. The history of Chelsea and the relationship between the fans and the club is very unique. The fans have been there for the club has been there for the fans. We've come through so much adversity. We've had an owner that came come and buy the club for a pound, £1,
Hmm.
and turn it into what we are today. We've been up, we've been down, we've been through so much, and we'll come through this again. We are the only club in living history, and I'm talking of, big time professional clubs, in
Yes.
living history that's had to deal with what we've had to deal with. Somebody just came along and tell your owner, right, that's it, you're sanctioned, done. Get rid
Mm.
of your club for nothing. Imagine that pressure. We all lived through that. We
Yeah.
all saw that. We all
Yeah.
saw that the
Yeah.
new ownership, the ink hadn't even dried on the contract. They had to meet up with the transfer market that had already started 4 months ahead of them. So we've been through a lot. But that's Chelsea. We excel in impossible situations. And what I always tell Chelsea fans, those that can remember the miracle of the Allianz Arena. We went to then the mighty Barcelona. I mean, not Barcelona. Well, we met Barcelona in the semi-final, but Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Bayern Munich. Yeah.
Yeah, they were an incredible team. We had our best players, a lot of our best players suspended. We had our two centre backs just back from injury. They were still limping. We were playing in their backyard. But Chelsea being Chelsea, it's only Chelsea that will go there and win. So that we come out of adversity. So I know it's scary. Let's have some faith. Let's come together as fans as we've always done. Chelsea fans are at their best when we're facing adversity. I don't quite sort of understand what's going on now with social media. We get some people that are wilting under this pressure, but the majority now are being who we are and they're coming together. They're saying, right, okay, this is where we are. But we are Chelsea and we will come through this and we will get back to the top again. I really believe we're going to do it. And everybody, as usual, will marvel that they can't get us. They want to, they've tried it so many times, and we come out the other side.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sammy Soul said, even if there is FFP, Chelsea should not be signing a Brighton coach. The ownership needs to allow people who knows about football to help him run the club. Otherwise, Bully would be Glazer 2.0.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just a model that we don't understand. Yeah, it makes sense that Brighton coach maybe wasn't experienced enough for Chelsea, but that was some of the kind of personality of the kind of model they wanted to run. Because if that is not true, look at the new Man U owner, the Ineos guy.
Hmm.
This guy is
Ratcliffe.
yeah, active. He's looking at the England coach, and to
Yeah.
me, I don't see reason why he should be looking at England coach for Manchester United, because England coach, to me, I would think I would take what's his name, the one they're about to sack. I would take him ahead of the England coach based on achievement, based on credentials. I wish England coach had won the Euro, the last Euro he went to play, that he lost in the final. That I'm like, oh, he's an Euro winner and all that. Club side, no trophy. National team, you have the best squad in the world. You have the best. You assemble the best squad. Still, you. So I think, but there's something they want from this kind of coaches that we really don't
Hmm.
see. Okay, and then he said, just like the previous Brighton coach that was sacked, Maresca will be sacked because the job is too big for him. And then Constantine Dante said it's not too big for him; he will just be fine. Yeah,
Hmm.
Enzo Maresca and the former Brighton coach are two different personality. Their
Hmm.
knowledge of football, their tactics is completely different. Because I sat down to listen to Enzo Maresca very well. That guy knows football. He knows football. The guy has different tactics for different approach. So he's gonna be this kind of coach that will not be following one way traffic like you have with the Tottenham coach. Even if things are going by, he doesn't change. But Enzo Maresca has different approach to different kind of game. So I think it's gonna be this kind of thing where you have a coach that hasn't really achieved much but has a lot to offer on the table. I think that is what we're going to see with Enzo Maresca. I'm believing that Enzo Maresca in Chelsea will be a success based on his knowledge of football. Yeah, Constantine Dante said the model is clear for him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you can respect it.
Look, I would be lying if if I came on here and said I know for certain that Maresca is the real deal for Chelsea. The truth of the matter is I don't know. I'm watching, I'm intrigued just like everybody else. And I'm in the camp of believing is seeing in this case because we need to believe to see rather than see to believe in
Yeah.
this case. Now, the thing I do know is that modern football is turning its back on the era of the Galacticos coach. I think people like Ancelotti are amongst the last ones. Definitely, when Pep Guardiola leaves Man City, he won't struggle to find work. But the fashionable Galacticos coaches, even Jose Mourinho, found he had to go to Turkey to ply his trade if he wanted to be a club coach. People are turning away from that. Why? They're looking at your Javi Alonso's of this world, who has been very successful. Juventus is looking at Thiago Motta, another unknown, known as a player, but as far as coaching is concerned, he's an infant. Bayern Munich have got turned to Vincent Company. You know, the younger, more enigmatic manager is what modern football is turning to now. Now they have to prove themselves. They really do in order to make their way into the sort of level of the Galacticos coaches of this world. But big clubs aren't looking that way. And the reason they're not looking is financial. They're tired of these guys coming in with their big entourage and reputation and their financial demands. Oh, get me so and so, get me so and so. Clubs don't work like that anymore. The model is that the club sporting directors get the players in consultation with you, of course, but they set the players, they set the mark, they set the finances, and you come in to comply and use what the club has. So they're trying to get away from the expense of these people. You get someone like Antonio Conte, for example. He comes in, oh, I want Messi, I want Ronaldo, I want so and so, and you amass all these players, and then you get rid of him, and the next man coming in can't use them. And he comes with another list of what he wants. And so you just have a lot of dead wood, a lot of wasted money, a lot of unhappy players, sometimes that you can't even sell. So clubs are trying to avoid that. And I see where it's going, but time will tell whether it's going to be successful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me correct myself. Yeah, not like I'm very certain, but I am optimistic. I am ready to try it. But in the case of Graham Potter, I didn't just see that aura. I didn't see that charisma that made me feel he's suitable for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't work. But with this guy, I think I see that aura. I see that confidence, and for me, I think I I am not so completely certain about it. But then I think I'm eager to see what he has to offer because I think this guy knows football. He knows football, and his boss has come out to say that. He's one of the most intelligent people he has met and worked with. And like Coach said last week, that this guy is a perfectionist, Pep, and there's no how he's going to bring you on board without he seeing that you have something to offer.
He certainly has a swag that says,
Yes,
you know, I've got the confidence and I'm going to make it. And he inspires confidence in him. So I'm hopeful. I really am. If even if I'm not certain, but I'm hopeful. I like the aura about him as well, and he definitely has a much better aura than Graham Potter did. Absolutely.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. You've had quite a long day today on analysis. Is there anything you want to maybe wrap up on as we try to bring the show to a close?
No, thank you so much for having me. It's always a privilege to get on a platform that you guys work so hard to create. And all I have to do is come and talk about what I love talking about the most, and that's Chelsea Football Club. So, I'm an unrepentant, unashamed Chelsea blue all the way. And I'm just grateful, and thank you for having me, for
Yeah,
real.
thank you so much. Let me say two things. Two things you do that are not easy. The first thing is getting that knowledge of what you want to talk about. It's not an easy thing. It's something you took years to build, and we appreciate that. And then secondly, talking also, being able to express yourself and analyze yourself is not something easy. And I must commend you for that. I must commend and appreciate you for your love for the Chelsea community. I really appreciate you, and let me say it's a honor to have you on the show, and I will look on to having you for as much as we can. And Constantine Dante says people still don't understand the project, the model, project, and plan. That's true. Okay, he said he's going back to sleep. So I thank you so much, Bobby, for coming on the show. I appreciate you so much. I thank you, Constantine Dante. Thank you, Sami So. And thank you, Coachella, for stopping by. Thank you so much, Bobby. And do enjoy the rest of your night. And see you again another time. God bless.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, thank you.